Hi, Daryl Treble here from Brave Security. We get often asked what's better, 1 megapixel or 10 megapixel or 12 megapixel cameras. What's the difference? So I thought we'd try and answer that today. So the first thing we need to do is go, what's the difference? So the clear difference is the more pixels you have on a given object, the better the resolution. So a 12 megapixel picture is going to give you a much crisper, cleaner picture of the area than what a 1 megapixel camera is. But is 12 megapixel better than 1 megapixel? The answer is sometimes, and it depends on the light levels and it depends on the recorder. So there's a lot of other things to consider. If, for example, I've got a 1 megapixel camera here and a 12 megapixel camera here, and they happen to have the same hole size in the end to let the light in. Imagine this, I've got 12 million pixels in this hole and 1 million pixels in here. So to fit 12 million pixels here, the pixels need to be smaller. And when the pixels are smaller, they don't let as much light in. And in photography, light is king. Light's everything. So when I've got a 12 megapixel camera with not much light getting in because there's so many pixels there and the pixels are small, what the camera does to compensate is it leaves the shutter speed open longer. And so when we have a slow shutter speed, what the result of that is that people moving around and walking around, they end up being blurry. And I don't know how many times I've been to sites to retrieve video evidence for police, and we're looking at people walking around a dark car park at night and they're all blurry. And this will be why. It's because we're trying to put too high a megapixel camera for that particular environment. The other most obvious thing that we need to consider is bandwidth. If we've got a 16 channel recorder with 12 megapixel cameras connected to it, it might be just too much bandwidth for that recorder to adequately work with, and then we have cameras dropping in and out and all that sort of stuff too. So bandwidth considerations are a big thing, and also the size of the CCD is really important. So if you have 1/3 of an inch, you probably don't want to go much over a 4 megapixel camera. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. Something to consider when you're looking at cameras. I'm Daryl from Brave Security.